This is going to cover calculating IV flow rate. This is Shannon. Example 1. Calculate the IV flow rate in drops per minute. Drops per minute will be our standard measured of unit of measurement for flow rate unless something else is given. Our order is to infuse 200 milliliters in 45 minutes with a drop factor of 100 drops per milliliter. I'm going to start, as always, with my order. 200 milliliters in 45 minutes. Notice how I combined the two parts of the order, the amount and the time, into one unit. Now I'm going to move to the answer. I know that I want my answer in drops per minute. So I'm going to go ahead and carry those units over to my answer, drops per minute. So now what I see, I have on top milliliters and I have on bottom minutes. My answer should be on top, drops, and on bottom, minutes. So my minutes already match up. All I need is to make my milliliters turn into drops. I'm now going to use my drop factor, which says there are 100 drops in a milliliter. I'm going to put that 100 drops on top so that I can put the milliliters on bottom. Milliliters cancel with the milliliters on top. I multiply across the top. I multiply across the bottom. Notice I have 20,000 drops on top, 45 minutes on bottom, and that matches up exactly with what my answer is supposed to be in. Now I simply divide the top by the bottom and round my answer 444.4 drops per minute. Example 2. Calculate the IV flow rate in drops per minute. My order's to infuse 2,000 milliliters in 16 hours. A drop factor of 200 drops per milliliter. I'm going to start with my order. 2,000 milliliters. Sorry about that. 2,000 milliliters in 16 hours. Now I'm going to move to my answer, which I know I want in drops per minute. Notice I have milliliters on top, and I want it to be drops. I have hours on bottom, and I want it to be minutes. I'm going to have to change both units. I'm going to use my drop factor, which says 200 drops per milliliter. I'm going to put the 200 drops on top. I'm going to put the milliliter on bottom, noticing that my milliliters cancels with my milliliters. That guides my math. Now what I have on top is drops. That's what I want. What I have on bottom, though, is hours. And what I see in my answer, I need to turn that into minutes. So I know how to turn hours into minutes. I'm going to use the fact that 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Notice I lined it up so my hours on top cancel with my hours on bottom. On top I am left with only drops. On bottom I am left with only minutes. So I multiply across the top and multiply across the bottom. On the top I get 400,000 minutes, drops, on the bottom I get 960 minutes. Then I take the top, divide by the bottom, and round to 416.7 drops per minute. Now, if you have a machine that can use the decimal numbers, 416.7 drops per minute is more accurate than rounding the whole number to 417. But if we needed a whole number setting, we would round up to 417 drops per minute. Thanks for watching.